Last week, Meta launched its newest family of models, Llama 3.1, including the first ever open source foundation model with over 400 billion parameters. Here are the three models that are part of the launch, ranging from a high of 405 billion to a low of 8 billion parameters. With this, Zuckerberg predicted that Meta AI will surpass OpenAI's 200 million monthly active users by the end of this year. That part sounds a bit like saber rattling to me, but we do need to pay attention to this product announcement, and here's why. First, the performance of this new model is now on par with the top closed source models, as you can see here. But this one is open source. Also, there's a very large context window, 128K tokens, which is about 96,000 words, which is about twice the size of the Great Gatsby. That's a lot of words. And the model is free to download and comes with a permissive license that includes commercial use and also the right to generate synthetic data to create new models. The other point that we can't just dismiss as merely a sales pitch is Zuckerberg's assertion that open source will eventually win for language models for the same reasons that Linux eventually won out against an array of closed source Unix models. He starts by reminding readers that closed source versions of Unix emerged first. Then he mentions the emergence of Linux as an open source alternative, describing the initial factors that attracted users to that option, and how early adopters created advances that created stronger capabilities and a more robust ecosystem over time, concluding by noting that today Linux is the industry standard and not any of the original closed source models. Now, that's not guaranteed to happen again with Gen AI, but it's plausible. And Llama 3.1 was apparently trained on over $700 million of hardware, and it's performing well. So we better not simply dismiss the idea as ridiculous. In addition, for this release, Meta has a complete ecosystem of partners ready to go. Here's the CEO of AWS announcing support on Bedrock and SageMaker. Here's the CEO of Databricks announcing full support. Here's Google announcing support on Vertex AI with Model as a Service. And here's a partial list of current partners listed on the Meta website. Now, let's say we're already building solutions with an OpenAI model or Anthropic, for example. And let's say we decide to create a challenger using Llama 3.1, so we can have an informed point of view about the open source option. But which one of the three sizes will we use for that test? Here's the Gen AI lead at Canva making the case that the 70B model might be a great place to start with that. So let's assume that our first round of testing uses that one. Okay, now, where do we do that? The short answer is probably where we're already doing our other AI work. But let's dig a bit deeper. Here's a list of 18 options I'm aware of for building a model today using Llama 3.1. And here's how we might rate them on 6 dimensions, assuming a 70B model being implemented by a medium-sized company. By the way, these criteria and these ratings might be different for a solo freelancer or a startup company, and might also be different for a Fortune 500 company or any enterprise with revenue more than $1 billion. But this matrix is for a medium-sized company and the 70B model. And here, dark green means very good, which indicates excellent performance, comprehensive features, and strong support. Light green means good, which indicates solid performance, useful features, and decent support. Yellow means average, which is okay for most things, maybe with some limitations. And red means weak, which indicates that there are known limitations or challenges in that particular area. So, roll it all up, and here are the top recommendations for where to do our pilot, considering all factors, including performance, capabilities, and cost. Hugging Face, number 1, with AWS, Azure, and Google in a three-way tie for second place. No surprises. And what kind of project? Let's list a few obvious candidates. Projects that can be done perfectly well by a 70B model, that deliver good business value, and that would be excellent for comparison purposes. 1. Customer service automation. 2. Sentiment analysis and insights. 3. Summarizing documents. And 4. Knowledge management and FAQs. What each of these share in common is that they address universal use cases that basically all companies have, and all of these projects have well understood metrics and KPIs, so therefore comparisons can be objective. And that's it in a nutshell. So, how will this turn out for Meta? Will open source Llama beat GPT-4o and other closed source models? How strong of a competitor will this be in actual practice? Turns out that llamas sometimes do fight, especially the males. Aggressive behaviors include spitting, neck wrestling, and pushing each other with their chests. But llama fights are usually not that serious. From what I understand, it seems that llamas get along with each other pretty well most of the time. But this is llamas versus dogs or coyotes. And here's the current lineup on the llama side. Let's see how they do. Meanwhile, thanks for watching and see you next time.